let me tell you how much I love TurboGrafx-16. A lot. That being said, I was that kid on the block who had a TurboGrafx-16 when they came out. Well, at least a few months after it came out. I did have a TurboGrafx-16 before Bonk's Adventure came out, so at least that long, right? Yeah, everyone else was fighting about Nintendo over Genesis, and I'm like, they're both fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of the TurboGrafx-16 for what it could do. It was just different. And I liked a lot of the games that I had on it. I didn't have a whole lot of games for it, but I had games like Pac-Land. I had Military Madness, that was a fun one. Of course, it was packed with Keith Courage. And there was one game that came out that I thought looked really cool. And I mean, I was like, man, look at the graphics on this thing. Look how large the characters are. This game's gotta be fantastic. And guess what? Not so much. I'm sure there are people who love it, because every game is someone's favorite game of all time for their own reason. But China Warrior? Really? Well, like in magazines and on paper, I suppose. And the fact that the characters are just gigantic, because I'm so used to playing games, you know, the TV is this big and your little Mario sprite's like this big. And then here's this gigantic fighting game. Man, how can it be bad? Well, I won't just tell you, I'll show you. Is it the worst game of all time? No, probably not. But as far as the TurboGrafx-16 goes, for everything the TurboGrafx-16 can do, for everything the TurboGrafx-16 is supposed to do, they could have done a lot more with this game. And instead, it's, well, let's find out. Here it is, China Warrior from Hudson Soft, 1989. So pretty cool graphics up front once you hit start, or run on this system. And then here you go. So, yeah, you're moving, and you can punch and kick, and then up is jump. But imagine how cool this game could have been. And the more you, I mean, and you know, if you pull back, it's gonna stop from scrolling. But you're constantly moving forward, which is fine. You know, whatever. But it's always moving, always walking. And it's one of those games like you have a punch button and a kick button, but why do you need both? I guess punch goes higher and the kick goes low. You can duck and punch, but you can't duck and kick. And you can jump and kick, but you can't jump and punch. So again, what's going on with... And look at those things. They're barely any animation to them. This game looks and feels like it could have been a game made with like Macromedia Flash back in the day. Look at his mouth. Mouth is bleeding a little bit. Oh, that's right. I can't just stop the boulder. I can't just step out of the side. I mean, and you can't turn around, so fortunately no one's going to show up from behind you, I suppose. Alright. Boulder. Rocks. Breakfast cereal. Ah, what is it? Get back. Okay, or not. Doop, doop, doop. There we go. Boop, boop, boop. I mean, it feels like one of those early release games. Oh, here we go. Here's a boss battle. It feels like one of those early release games that could have been like, it came out in Japan, and they're like, oh, like, you know, the American audience, you know, like the U.S. embassy or whatever would say, like, we're not gonna release that. That stays in Japan. That doesn't match our quality standards of stuff. And, but maybe there wasn't any of that here to contend with. So maybe, just maybe... Oh, come on, you. There we go. Oof. Has a seat. Got some points. Like I care about that. Alright. And then moving along again. I'm not able to move. Okay, now I can move. Now that the sun has set on this industrial setting. Oh, how about a rock right in the face? Oh no! I died because I tripped over a rock. Yeah. China Warrior for the TurboGrafx-16. Of all the great games on the TurboGrafx-16, this was one of them. That's all you need to know.